Hello, explorers. Welcome back. I am Leonidas. This is Stationeers. Welcome back. We are here for episode 4 of our Moon series, For Newbies by a Newbie. Again, for a lot of you advanced players, this might be kind of dull. Unless you love watching NASCAR for the wrecks, then by all means stay tuned because it goes off the rails. Oh my goodness, my last video. You know how they say don't go shopping when you're hungry? Don't make videos when you're tired, which is funny because I just played a round of golf today and I'm actually absolutely exhausted, but here we are because content, right? For the content gods. So let's get into it. Let's open up our saved world. If you remember from our last video, we made water and air. We hooked up our water tank and our air tank for refilling. Fairly straightforward, nothing to it. To kind of recap, I'll turn my light on here. So we have water in our water tank. Currently we have, it says 77 liters, which is quite a bit. And that will fill into our water filling station. Now, note that right now we have 77.2 liters of liquid water. This thing at the bottom, I believe, means liquid. This is just kind of this gas. And 77.2 liters in here. Notice the temperature. If water gets below 0, it will freeze, and then you will have ice. So this, over time, will radiate down and cool off because it's outside. So I like to keep my water indoors for that reason. But here's our air filling station, and one of the notes that I kind of glazed over last time and didn't mention in much detail. Why, if we can fill from this tank, why do we need a filling station? Well, for a couple reasons. One, because then I can get a desired pressure. I can pick the pressure that I want it at. It'll go there and fill it. Otherwise, it'll just equalize with whatever's in here. So right now my pressure is 6.88. If I drop my tank in there, it will not go to 6.88. It'll be below that. And then the next one will be less and less and less and less and less and all the way down until you're not getting much of a refill. Also, I need a way to add more oxygen back into here and water back into here. And we'll set that up at a future time, but that's why I did it this way. Do you need to for oxygen? No. Do you need to for water bottles? Yes. Water bottles will not fit in here. They only go in the water bottle filler, so you do need to set this up. That one is required, but I digress. Let's get back to where we're going. So today, I want to... I'd planned to get going on the hydroponics. I think it's more important that we work on a little bit more power, because our one solar panel is just not really cutting it to keep our batteries charged, which is a really important thing. So that's what I would like to do first. In order to accomplish that, we need an electronics printer. All right, and I'm back. No, I did not actually mine anything, because only moments after cutting away, I realized we already mined ore. We already have some. Why are we reinventing the wheel? So let's pop this guy in, turn our furnace on, press the button to activate, and I will cut away and until this guy pops out. I wasn't sure if my video actually unpaused there for a moment, so I didn't, in case it didn't resume recording. I didn't actually go out and mine anything because I found that I already had copper in my mining belt that I mined earlier, so I thought, why reinvent the wheel? Let's just pop it back in and smelt what we have. So that's exactly what we did. And you saw that it's now finished, just popped out. And let's do this since we have it here. We'll keep it going. But let's grab our iron ingot, toss it in the side of our pipe bender, flip it on. We press the search button and we type in because it goes in the auto lathe. It comes from the auto lathe, of course. All right, so we will eject these. Grab this guy, grab this guy, and you will fit there. Let's close our mining belt for now. Turn this guy on.
Hydration critical.
Oh no. All right, we'll get a drink in just a second. Okay, now if we search for electronics printer, there it is. We're going to press the button to start. We've met our requirements for materials, and we will let that do its thing. While it's doing its thing, let's go get some water with our handy dandy water bottle filler. I have one on my belt, so I will drink that. Takes a little second. I put it in my belt and I'm holding right click to consume it. Notice it went over 24. So last time I talked about, oh, sometimes early in the game it overshoots your number, your hydration. This is not by chance. Oh, well, it filled up. It does this. Let me show you. When you go to different foods, like go home, pause our game. And we click on organics and foods, and we come down and edibles and foods. So if we look at, let's say, cereal bar. When we eat a cereal bar, it gives us, the quality is good. It gives us a plus 25 hydration capacity, plus 25%. That's why when we hydrate or drink water, we're able to go to 125. This means that it just longer in between when we need to drink water. So it's kind of a bonus there. Some have more, some have less. If you look at chocolate cake, you get 75. So when you drink water, it would take you up to 175. If you eat, say, what's one that we don't like? I think we, if you were to eat, let's find one. Potato. It's a minus 25. So when you consume water, it would only take you to 75 here on your hydration. So keep that in mind. But that is why it's 125, because the cereal bars that we've been eating give you a plus 25 hydration bonus. So there is a reason for it. It's not just random. All right, let's come on back. Oh, our ingot finished. That's good to know. Have you finished? No, we're about 50% of the way there. I made a note for myself to talk about, it just says N2 in canister, which is nitrogen in canister. What I think I meant to talk about is probably this guy. This is my Jetpack propellant, and it is all nitrogen. If you, and we can actually figure that out by, if we drop it on the ground.
Jetpack critical.
I know, you're gonna yell at me. And we have our atmospherics analyzer here. Put it in our hand, right click, turn it on, right click to turn it on. And we look at it, it'll tell us it's pure nitrogen. So that's what we're jetting out. The nice thing about our jetpacks is it's more of a, oh, what's the term it uses? Hold on. It actually tells us. If we go jet, I think it calls it a jet booster. Jetpack. It'll tell us, technically not a jetpack, it's a gas thruster. That's what it is, a gas thruster. You can put anything in there. You can use oxygen. You can use nitrogen, carbon dioxide. Pick your favorite gas and use whatever you want, and it will launch you. It just needs the pressure to do it. So keep that in mind. Oh, shouldn't have left these on. Running our battery down. Yep, how low are we? We are at 53%. Okay. So let's get going on our solar panels. We'll put you about, line you up with the other one. That looks good. Kind of centered. Oh, that's really close. I don't like those being that close together. Because this guy's just going to hit him. But do we have an alternative? I don't know that we do. I'm just going to move it. Sorry. Oh, wrench. Wrench to disassemble. Okay, we'll move him one off to the side just to give him a little more space. There we go. Okay, so now, what do we need to construct? We need a welding torch and 2 iron sheets. So let's grab a welding torch and 2 handy dandy iron sheets. We push E to switch hands, right click to activate the welder. We weld it. Now we need 4 cable coil. That's a lot of cable coil. Put it in our hand. Okay, and I think we need a screwdriver last. Put our sheets back, coil back, grab our screwdriver. No. Oh, it wants plastic sheets. Okay. So we'll grab our welding torch, drop it on top. Plastic sheets, switch hands, right click to turn it on, right click to turn it off. Now it needs the screwdriver. So go screwdriver, put these guys back, and voila. There we are. We now have electronics printer. Let's go ahead and wire this in. we will switch to our wire cutters because we'll need them shortly. So we're going to curve it in this way and then go straight. And remember, to bring this up, I right click to deploy it, and then I'm pressing C to kind of change the orientation, run it down, and then because I have my wire cutters in my hand, I can splice it in. And now we have an electronics printer. So let's get one, maybe two more solar panels, regular solar panels. Let's take a look and see what they cost. Is everything else off, 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 off? Saving, yes, electricity. Okay, search, and let's go solar panel basic. I need iron, gold, and copper. I have those things, just not here. So we're going to turn you off. Iron, gold, copper. Nope, you have nothing. You have everything. Do I have iron, gold, copper enough? 50, 15, 32. It should be. So we'll pick up 1. E, switch hands, pick up 2. Hold Alt, drag number 3. We'll plop these guys in. Even though it's off, it will still accept them. And 3. Turn it on. And now, if I look over my activate button, I see solar panel basic, iron, gold, copper, everything's yellow. We're good. Let's hit it. And we'll move it 1 to the side so it only prints 1. And we will go with it. The other thing we're going to need soon is more coil. We have 19 left, and that's it. It requires copper to make coil. And I think you get, it only takes half a copper to build a coil, which is kind of nice. So we'll let this finish up, and I will come back to you. All right, we have our solar panel basic. If you remember from the first time we did this, we're also going to need, and actually, I want 2 of these. I'm going to make 1 more while that's printing. Okay, and then I need my sheets, my glass sheets, which are, where? Anybody know where my glass sheets are? I'll find them and I'll be right back. Okay, we found them in our yellow crate in the construction supplies, which makes sense. So let's work our way up there, use our nice little ladder so we don't need to use our jetpack. And we're going to place this one in the exact same orientation that we did last time. We're going to right click after we're selecting the hand, press C, and notice that there's 2 different versions, right? I see this right here when I'm looking at it. When I go to deploy it, it says hold C or just mouse. 1 of 2. I can do angled and I can do flat. This one, we're going to do flat. And I have it oriented the same way so that when I go to tie it in, put the glass sheets up here. Actually, we can just throw our glass sheet on there now, then put that away. And we'll put our wire cutters here so we can splice it in. Now, again, this we want to splice in at the top. I'll do this from the inside so we can see it. Okay, so this is where the connection is, my data and power connection. It needs to go into the top here so that it's powering that battery. So we will bend it toward it, press C till we get the shape that we want. I moused down to get that curve, back up, the mouse wheel back up to get the straight line, and boom, it's in. And now we are automatically generating electricity. So this will now charge much quicker, which is a good thing. What are you at? I'm not sure what it's at, but we're going to let it go for a little while. And we're going to build 1 more, but we need a place to put it. So what we're going to do is let's put it into our inventory. Nope, we don't have enough spots. So let's take a frame. No, don't need a frame. We need a iron wall. We're going to make a ceiling, essentially. And we already have iron sheets, so we're going to make another one right here. I right-click to bring this up, press C. Actually, I'm going to do it so that, for aesthetics reasons, the X that we see is on the inside. Right there, grab an iron. Actually, I don't even need to build it out yet, so we'll put it, yeah, we'll put it back where it was. Got to stay organized. And we are now ready for our other. Turn this off to preserve electricity. Climb our ladder. Now this one we are going to do angled. Did I do the wrong one? Oh, I sure did. Go me. Okay. Well, that was a waste of resources. Do we have more? Enough to do another one. Solar panel basic. Is that what's selected now? Upright turbine. No. There it is. Ugh. All right. Forgive me. I'll be back. And we are back. Let's turn this guy off. Grab the correct solar panel this time. Climb up our ladder now that we are losing our sun. And we're going to turn this guy up. We're going to make him angled. We're going to angle him this way. The reason for that is because as the sun comes up, we're not really getting high efficiency. If you look right now, we're only getting 22% based on the angle of the sunlight, which does matter. So as the sun first comes up, these guys aren't registering anything. So we're going to grab it at first light by angling this up that way. So we're going to wire this in, but notice how it changes the orientation of where the power connection is. There's not a way, as far as I know, to angle it whichever direction you want. The power connection will always be away from where it is angled, the opposite direction. So let's go ahead and finish constructing this right here. And we're not going to do one for facing the back or the sunset. And more on that a little later. Sneak around the back here, see if I can get this coil on without falling off. Put our glass back. Wire cutters. Right click to bring it up. Mouse down to get the curve. C until it points the direction that we want. There. We'll loop it around this way. Okay, and then see if we can do a tightrope act and get all the way over here. Oh, so I can tell where it is without looking at it because of turn on the light. How this looks if I was going to install over it. I don't know that it would actually let me. Will it? No, it won't let me. But see how it's yellow on the left and green plus on the right? This looks the same as here. So this is how you know you haven't connected one there, and that's your next spot to put it in. I just wish it was a little more obvious. If it's too far, you'll see green on both ends. If it's not far enough, you'll see yellow on both ends. But anyway, I digress. So let's wire this up. And there we go. Now, as the sun comes up, we will be making way more electricity. So notice this is blue, which I want. This one's also blue, so I'm going to actually swap these out. And we still have one full large battery. So we're good for now on this. What if we wanted a panel that could swivel and just follow the sun? Wouldn't that be nice? I think that would be nice. Well, they have that. And it is called, let's bring it up here. Whoops. Close that guy out. Pause our game. Solar panel. Whoops. And it is, well, it's the solar, you have solar panel heavy, basic heavy, and then just solar panel. It's this kit right here. And this produces a solar panel dual or just solar panel. More on that when we install it. But this is all you need is gold, copper, and steel. We don't have steel. Steel's an alloy. You cannot mine it. You can get it from an empty can. More on that in hydroponics. Or an ingot of steel. Well, to get an ingot of steel, you need something called a furnace. And what you do is you heat this furnace up and create it and put it at a certain temperature, and then you melt iron, 3 iron, and 1 carbon, and you get a unit of steel out. That's how you get steel ingots. We also need it because we need a bigger battery. This little battery is going to run out pretty soon, and let me make sure everything's off. We're going to need more to do what we need to. Well, they have those. It's just called a battery. Battery. Here's the kit for it. If you click on it, it'll bring up the station battery. And these guys are pretty beefy. Stores up to 3.6 million watts of power. That seems like a lot of watts. So we want this. We want this. It comes from a kit battery, which also requires steel. So guess what we need to do next? Make steel. So first step, we need a furnace. So let's make ourselves a furnace. Now the furnace is different than the arc furnace. This arc furnace, smelts ores. There are different types. Furnace. You have an arc furnace, which we have right here, that smelts ores. But you can't control the temperature or the pressure on it. You have a furnace and an advanced furnace. More on the advanced furnace later. But we want just a regular old furnace for now. This comes from a kit furnace, and we need iron and copper, which is pretty easy. So let's make that. And I believe that one, actually, I don't need to guess. It tells us that in the auto lathe. So turn it on. Look for furnace kit right here. We have what we need because we're all in the green. Or I guess yellow. Push it to the side, and we're going to wait for it to finish. I will cut away and come back when it's printed. Welcome back. Our furnace is finished. So let's clear our hands. Turn this guy off to save some energy. And let's set up our furnace. Now, the placement of this is kind of funky. You can put it anywhere. You could have it in the sky, underground, just on top of something else. So, and orienting it is a bit of a challenge. Look at all the things we have. So on the top, we have an in arrow, right, pointing down. At the bottom, it's an out arrow. On the left, we have, looks like 2 arrows to the left, 1 to the right, some symbols at the top. There's a lot going on with this guy. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit C, try and figure out which way is forward. Well, the forward direction, if I kind of look at it, it's the one that's facing me right now, what I'm looking at. And the way I know that is, it's hard to, once this thing's built, it'll be able to recognize it a little better. But there's 2 little circles on it, and those are dials. What I like is, I'm going to rotate this. Now what I have is, I'm going to hit insert. Yes, did I get it? On the first try, it sure did. So I like my furnace to come in and put things on the left, eject things on the right. And I'm going to set this kind of right. I don't know. Here it looks nice. And it's floating. If that bothers you, I guess you can put it on the bottom, but you don't need to. Or on the, what's this thing called? Frame. But you don't have to. All right, I need a wrench and 2 iron sheets. I also am going to need to build some more things to get this guy set up. And we'll talk about all that and why soon. Okay, we're done. Here we go. So these are, oh, I guess it wasn't a die. The other circle, maybe the circle, no, the circles were these guys. Never mind, they weren't the dials. I was looking at the back end of it. So let's do a little walk around and take a look at what we have here. This is our furnace. We're going to input things here. We're going to use this button to activate it, to get it to start processing. And when it's done, it's just going to launch stuff out this door, similar to these doors. This lever launches stuff out, similar to these levers. Whatever's in there, it'll just eject it, whether that's the alloy that you're looking for, or the materials that you used and didn't really want, but are still left over in there. This is a little window where you can see it heat up. Right now it's cold and dark. It'll go blue and red and orange. I think it's the white. So that measures kind of the temperature. This, well, is the readout of the temperature, the pressure. Liquids volume, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't ever used liquids with a furnace. I believe it's used for cooling, to cool it down, but I have not used it. This again is the activate button. Coming around to the back side, we have a data port, but we don't need power. It's unpowered. So there's no power cable coming into it anywhere. This is our liquid connection, and this is our input and our output for gases. I have not done enough testing with this to know if you only need one from the output. I think for our purposes, that's all we need. What this would be used for is, this takes a fuel to heat up, and it kind of combusts it on its own. It's a combustion furnace, whereas this is kind of an electric furnace. As it combusts, we use what the game calls fuel, which is... Oh, you're not going to give it to me. It's not going to give it to me. It is a mixture. It's basically H2O, but on another level, I guess. Because obviously H2O is water. But when we add oxygen and hydrogen in a 2-to-1 or 1-to-2 ratio, then it combusts it creates heat and pressure, and that's what we use to melt ores and create alloys. Well, you could do that with the gas form. You could add gas in here this way through gas pipes, and it would do the same thing. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way, and I'll show you that momentarily. If we need to vent out gases, too much pressure, or just to bleed it off because we're done, it needs an outlet. And that's what this pipe is, right? An outlet. And then obviously this is our liquids connection for in and out there. So let's do that. Let's grab, we need a few things. We're going to set up the back of this guy. We're going to grab the pipe kit that we have. And we need one more item. Turn you on. Let's go valve. Oh, I guess if I click in the box. Valve right here. Kit pipe valve. I need iron and copper. Do I have any back here? I have some copper back here. Grab some iron from somebody. Sure, we'll let you donate your iron. Okay, turn that off. Grab our iron. Toss it in here. And we have what we need. Let's hit it. There is a digital valve that you can use, but we're not automating this at this point, so we don't need it. I'll show you what this guy's for. We also need called a cowling, or pipe cowl, excuse me. A cowl is just an opening. It allows whatever is in the pipe to just seep out. It's what opens the end. Because remember how we talked about when we install these pipes. Let's get rid of that guy and set some things down. Let's put you down. Actually, let's stay organized. Let's put it in our little crate here. And there, and there, and there. Okay. Grab these guys. Like I said, I'll need you in my hand. So when we put these pipes on, if you notice, they're closed on the end. Gas won't escape. So what we do is do this, and then I need my wrench to splice it in just like we do with our electric component, or electric coil, excuse me. Looking for the 2 yellow, lots of greens, green, green. Is that actually gonna work? No, why can't I? Oh, actually, because I know why. Let's do it. Yep. Nope. Yep. That'll work. Okay. That tied it in because there's not another pipe. That's why it was green on the end, but it still worked. And then this. So now what's going to happen is the gas will just kind of recirculate through this. It will, any gas that gets seeped out will seep back in, which I think why the person in this video who I originally learned this from did it that way. Where did my... I am missing something. I do this all the time. Did I put it over here? No. Okay. Where's my... Is this like a bad joke? I know I printed a valve, right? Or did I just talk about it? Hang on. I'll be right back. I must be losing my good old gosh darn marbles. Okay. I could have sworn that I built a... Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's try it again. Did I really not build one? I could have sworn I did. And it popped out and it was laying right there and I picked it up. Where did I put it, guys? Where did I put... Oh, it's in my hand. Oh, and I just couldn't see it. All right. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. All right. Again, I could cut this out to make myself look better, but not who I am. You get me mistakes and all. If you want an expert or someone who shows you perfection, sorry, you got me. I'm going to rotate this because I don't like it. So let's go home button. Nope, wrong one. Let's try page up. Yep, that'll work. And I like to have it this way. So when I'm placing this, see the little lever? You can kind of see it right where my white dot is. That's where the open direction. So when I plop it on here, I just like it being that way and that to that side. So this is closed. Now it's going to vent out some really hot gases that I don't necessarily want to be near. So we're just going to run this out a little ways. Just kind of away from us. Yeah, that's probably good. I don't know how many that was, but we'll grab a cowl. And now, the way we have this set up is as this thing heats up, creates pressure, creates hot, volatile gases in there, they're going to be circulating back here for a while. When I'm done with it and ready to just send them, I will turn this valve, and all the gas in here will start venting out right here into the atmosphere, away from me. It's going to be very hot, and it's going to be pretty high because it does get pretty high pressure. Don't forget to close it. I promise you're going to forget to close it. Don't forget to close it. Because then you go to start it back up and you're going, oh, that's weird. Why won't my pressure stay up? And you peek around the corner and go, oh yeah, the valve. So here we go. Outstanding. What we need, every alloy has a recipe. And if we look at, should we do ingots? Sure. These alloys, steel, invar, constantan. If there's a better way to pronounce that, please let me know. Electrum and solder. Each of these require you to use a furnace and to make some. So we're going for steel. It also gives us certain parameters. In our furnace, which I think it's the same parameters for both, it is. It just shows you that you can make it in a tier 1 advanced furnace or tier 2. I don't know why it's not showing it. Why is it listed on here twice? What's the difference? Oh, hydrocarbon. We don't need to worry about that. So we're using a furnace, and we're gonna mine carbon. We need our temperature to be at above 627 degrees centigrade or Celsius, and below, basically below 100,000 degrees Celsius. I think we're gonna be okay on the pressure. If you get this to 100,000 degrees Celsius, I don't think you'll continue to exist in the game. And then the pressure anywhere from 1 megapascal to 100. This is so easy to make. All you got to do is kick it on. I'm going to show you how to do that. We also need iron. We need 3 iron for every 1 carbon. If you are off by even 1, it does not correct for you. It will not, if you have, say you're doing 75 iron and 25 carbon. If you have 76 iron and 25 carbon, and you say, this will work, and you throw it in there, pull the lever to get it out, it will not work. It must be exact numbers to the single unit. Please keep that in mind. So let's go dig up some iron and some carbon. More mining. Don't forget the beacon that I've been apparently kicking around. I'll sit you back down right here. Okay, turn that on. We will swap batteries because now our solar panels are getting lots of electricity. So much solar energy. We love it. And put you back there for now. I'll probably forget you the chair. Oh, why did we leave this on? Oh my goodness. And this. Turn this off. Wasting all this power. Let's check the battery on our mining drill. Should be okay. 94. Love to see it. Oxygen. We're okay. Waste tank's getting pretty high. We'll deal with that later. And these are both good. Now, let's grab our mining drill and just start walking. Again, if you forget we need F1, we need 3 stacks of iron for 1 stack of carbon. That looks like iron right there. It also looks like some right here. So let's grab this. Come on. Oh, do I have it on flatten? Let's see. Turn it off. Push R. Sure do. Set default. Take it off flatten. And that was my text message. Let's get... So I'm watching my stacks, and I want 3 stacks of... Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed because I was muting my phone. 50. So I got 1 stack of 50, working on the next. Let's just kind of move around, dig around a little bit. Oh, there was one sticking through. Okay, so I will mine this and come back when I'm finished. Alrighty, I have got my stacks and just a little bit extra. I've dug myself into a hole, literally. So to get out again, J for jetpack, space to go up, WASD to move forward, align with the hole. There we go, turn the jetpack off, and voila. Now I need to go find... There's a couple other things that I need also. The first is this guy right here, Oxite. let's look up what oxide is. F1, type in oxide. It's an ice. It will give you oxygen and nitrogen. So when I go to make my fill my oxygen tank, this is what I fill it with for now. I will crush up this ice, extract the oxygen, put it in the oxygen tank, and vent off the nitrogen. Do you have to vent off the nitrogen? No. It's simpler if you don't, but your lungs don't like it when you breathe it in directly. You'll need a nitrogen filter to compensate for that. So I just keep things pure. But this guy mines just the same. Turn it on. Watch my mining belt. And all I need is about 20 of this. Very, very little. Probably single digits. The other thing I need is pink ice, volatiles, which is hydrogen. Actually, have we looked at volatiles yet? I don't think so. Volatiles. No, I want the ice. Right here. It just gives you volatiles. It's just hydrogen. Why they don't call it hydrogen, I'm not exactly sure, but just hydrogen. Used in a lot of things. Look at that. Oh man, we mined a bunch. Don't even need that much, but it got it. And now the last thing we need, again, because we have 3 stacks of iron, we needed 1 of carbon. So we're gonna run around and see if we can find carbon and mine it for 25. Here's cobalt. Designated by that bluish color. Later in the game, we're gonna have some tools that help us. Ooh, who's this sticking out? Yeah, there's our guy right there. Look at that, just peeking through. We just need 1 stack of 50. Later in the game, we're gonna grab some tools that will help us find ores under the surface. So useful. Oh, you're gonna go, why didn't we do this in the beginning? I mean, there's a reason. It takes some time to work up to, but oh, it's so nice. It's so beautiful. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Almost there. So I guess I will cut away and come back when I get my 50. Okay, we got our 50. And can we jump out of this one? Nope, kind of dug ourselves in. So jetpack, space, W, jetpack off, kind of fall to the ground. Turn that light off, kind of preserve it. And, oh, we're getting a little long in the video. So this probably will be the last bit we do this time around. Okay, so put you back. We can smelt this down to ingots if we want. We don't need to. And for our purposes, we're not going to. And I'm glad it shows me this because I'm going to do an experiment at the end. Now, here we go. The furnace, I'm not an expert. I'm not great at it. It is kind of my arch nemesis. So this is much easier to do when the sun's down. Okay? Turn my light off. It's dark. The sun melts ice. If you're in a room with an atmosphere that generates heat, it melts ice. This is much easier to do at night. Will it actually do it if I hold it in my hand? Is it? Yeah, see how the number is decreasing? And you see how the atmosphere? It's actually melting right now because the sun's out, hitting it, heating it up, and it melts. When that's the case, you have to do this really fast because you can't just go, oh, I need a couple of these. We're putting ice in here, spoiler alert. And it's a lot easier to do when the sun's down because you don't have to worry about the melting. Unless you're doing this inside, which I don't recommend. It outputs a lot of heat and some noxious, a lot of gases. A lot of different gases. But later game, you can harness those gases and use them. But for right now, our purposes, let's just do this quick. So what we need first is let's start with pink ice. And I don't need this many. If I add too many, it's going to heat up too much, too fast, and it's kind of a waste. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Alt, click here, and I'm going to split them. I'm going to go split one. I'm going to click it 2 times. And has the sun gone down? It has. If the sun's up, this is going to decrease. So you have to kind of overshoot it up to, say, 5. And as it counts down, as soon as it gets to 2, I've let go of Alt. As soon as it gets to 2, click on this guy and stick it in. Now it'll stop melting. It's not doing anything, though. Right, it went in, doors closed, it's going, and you're going, well, I don't see anything, nothing here, nothing here. It says processing. It says can be melted by hitting activate. That's exactly what we want. Hit activate.
Waste tank caution.
Okay, we'll get to it in a second. But again, nothing's happened. Our pressure did go up a little bit. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take one oxide, which has oxygen. Let's close that guy. I'm holding Alt again. Alt on my oxide, split one. Again, if I was doing, if the sun were up, I would go to maybe 3 and let it count down. But I want 2 pink ice, 2 volatiles, and 1 oxide. Water ice will not work. Nitrice will not work. It must be volatiles and oxide for what we are doing here. Toss that guy in. And now watch. When I hit activate, whoosh, now we have stuff. Okay, you can see our temperature in megapascals. You can see, I'm sorry, in kilokelvins, and our pressure in millipascals. So we hit F1. I want to make steel ingots right here. I need between 900 Kelvin and 100 kilokelvin. Yeah, we're good. We're at 1 kilokelvin. We've got 99 to go to max it out. Notice that it's falling. So actually I want to do this a little bit quicker. I'm going to pause it. Pressure, it's just got to be above 1 megapascal. Okay, so we are kind of falling. So let's do this kind of quick. So now I need to toss these guys in. I need 3 to 1. So iron, notice it's processing right here. Much faster than the ice furnace over here, but I could just hit it and it would just pop them out as ores. They do the same, or I'm sorry, as ingots. Takes the ore, turns it into an ingot much faster than the other one. Okay, and now I've got 150 in there. This is where my 50 coal comes in, is my temperature has dropped way too far. So watch what's going to happen. I'm below, and it doesn't say it'll do anything. You see that? So if I kick this out, watch what happens. Do I want to do this? No, we'll do the science later. I have let it cool too far. See how low it is? Is this open? That cooled actually really fast. My pressure's good, temperature's not. So let's do this again. So I'm going to bring oxide. Sure, we'll split. What did I do last time? I think I did 2 to 1. So let's just do it again. Put 1 in. Notice that it's going to... Oh, it actually didn't do much until I put in the volatiles. Close that. Let's do 2 volatiles. 1, 2. Take it and drop it in. And now my temperature should go shooting back up. As soon as that gives above 1,000 or 1 mega kilokelvin, 1 kilokelvin, you're going to see below where it says contents, it's going to say iron ingot will produce iron steel ingot. Oh, it's just taking its sweet time. Oh, because the pressure's so high. Do I care? Let's add more volatiles. Maybe 3? That might be too much. Oop, I don't want to blow this thing up. Oh yeah, it's glowing. Getting up there, turning red. Okay, let's do another one of these. Let's go 1. We're almost there. We need it above 1,000. So close. Bingo. Now to say will produce 200 grams of steel. Send it. And we're done. There's our steel. Ta-da! Now, let me demonstrate this for you. So I got to close this. But if you put in just regular ore, and how high are we going? Not too bad. Okay, notice it'll say 4 ingots of iron. Yes, if you have ores, by all means, process them. Okay, you've put it in, you've gotten to this point, you can send them. If I put in iron, and I put in coal, notice one was in an ingot and one was in a, I don't know, ore. Right now it says we'll produce nothing. If I pull this lever, watch what comes out. This brown guy. This is called a Reagent mix. It means that you put something in here in a ratio or in a temperature or pressure that didn't do much, and it just took whatever you had and melted it together into some kind of molten ball and spit it out. There's a centrifuge can pull these apart, but otherwise, that's just what it is. I can't use it in here. What? If I stick it in here and try and melt it, it's just going to kick it right out the back. If I put it back in here, it'll tell me that I have those things. Oh, I left this open. But it's just going to kick it back out. Okay, I can still use them, the iron and the hydrocarbon, but Otherwise, it's just going to Reagent mix. So if you're off by 1, if you have, remember we put 150 iron, and we put in 50, just 50 coal. If you were off by 1 number, all it would have spit out are a bunch of Reagent mixes that are in a ratio that we can't use. And it's kind of a bummer. So please be exact on your amounts that you drop in here. Now, I don't need this. Let's close this off. And we could let this bleed off. The pipes don't like that much pressure. Oh, look at all the things in there. Oxygen, nitrogen, CO2, volatiles, and pollutants, which is sometimes referred to as X. But a lot of stuff in there. High pressure, 13%. It's not bad right now, actually. But let's vent this off. So we pull this lever and watch the atmosphere come out there. And notice this dropping and cooling off. For reference, the 11 megapascals, 10 megapascals, our tank is at 4 megapascals, our oxygen tank here. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so there you go. Reagent mix. This one, I mean, we may as well yeet it because we won't need it for anything else ever. Reagent mixes can be tough to use, so off he goes to the nether world. And there you are. So this color will decrease right as it cools off and the pressure drops and all that. Yeah, there you are. So now we have steel. Ta-da! And quite a bit of it. Remember what we were wanting to build? How we got here? We wanted to build a solar panel and a battery. So I popped this guy in. Well, if I wanted to build a solar panel, anything else on? Oh, turn this guy off and turn you off. We go here and we go, let's go solar panel. We don't want basic. We want the regular solar panel kit. I can make a couple of these, right? It only takes 15 steel. We're just going to do 1 for right now. Move to the side and wait for it to finish. The other thing that I want is while that's cooking, is a battery. Station battery. Well, misspelled it. Right here. And I know that it's going to require, well, the kit is going to require steel, 20. And remember, I got 200. So just from that one little, what we did, the steel, I can make 10 of these batteries. I don't need that many. I will later, but for now I don't. And then I'm also going to need steel sheets. Steel sheets to finish production. Steel sheets come from, where are you at? Auto lathe right here. Oops, turn you on. And now if I just type the word steel, all I got are steel frames and steel sheets. These work just like iron. Iron frames and iron sheets. They're just a little more robust, I think. If I type in frames. So steel frames, does it tell you how? No. Sometimes it'll tell you how much pressure it can withstand, how much... what about iron? Did iron? No, I guess not. They're just a little more sturdy. Flashpoint, I'll be honest, I don't know what that means. But I think they melt, or at auto ignition they catch fire. They're just a little more sturdy, I guess. I've started using them because I had so much steel. I had like 2,000 steel that I just needed to start using it up. So that's what I did. Notice how long this takes to get to 0. We're in the kilopascals, but it's still venting. Okay, we got our solar panel. Let's do our battery while we're here. Battery. We want this one here, kit battery. Oh, we need a couple of things. Gold and copper. Do you have any gold and copper? You have copper, so let's grab it out of there. And put it straight in. Gold, hey, fancy that. Look, sitting straight on the ground. Do we have enough now? Nope, need more copper. Do you have copper? No, we might be out of copper. So, let's go find copper. Actually, looking at the time we've been doing this, we're going to do that next time. So, what we have done so far today, I feel like we didn't make a lot of progress. What we do is we set up our furnace in anticipation of building a solar panel and a station battery to help power our base more than just this little puny guy here, which is really what we want. The solar panel, we can actually set up to follow the sun across through the sky, the arc of the sky. So it'll give us way more power out of it rather than just these guys that kind of wait till the sun's overhead, grab the power from it and put it in our batteries. So it's much more efficient, and they're kind of a must-have, to be honest. In the next video, we will finish up this project. It gets worse. It gets much worse. Any of you programmers out there? Yeah. I will show a couple different ways to do it. One takes a lot of steps, but is easier. The other requires programming. Both are doable. Listen to me, guys. If I can do this, you can do this. But it is not necessarily the most fun thing ever. Just kind of labor intensive. But that's what we're going to do next time. So again, thank you so much for stopping by. I am Leonidas, and I will see you again soon.